This episode was brought to you by Money is God, the best urban crime novel in America, available at BaldBossMedia.com and all other digital media purchasing platforms.
Welcome to the Not Ordinary, Extraordinary podcast hosted by Brian Harrison. And now a word from David Destiny Loper. A dude named Destiny?
State Correctional Institution, Albion.
This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
There go my introduction right there. You hear me?
Yeah.
Prison phone recordings for the last 20 years of my fucking life. I'm gaining on having more time in prison in my life, as far as I've been alive, than being alive. You hear me? I mean, and being on the street free. Like that's a sad fucking fact about the shit we be doing, the life we be living in the hood and all that. Like motherfuckers be, we learn to embrace that shit and love that shit because we tend to have this maladaptive behavior where we make the abnormal normal in order to shore up our self-esteem or our lack thereof. So that's basically who I am as far as like what I've the sum of me right now. That's what I added up to be. That's what I came out to be. But I'm more than the sum part. So basically who I am and what I am is two different things. The what is the physical, what you see with your sense perception. I'm a black male, damn near 50 years old, criminal as far as it's defined by perception, and criminal, a murderer. Well, I don't call myself a murderer, but they define me as a murderer because they tried to give me the death penalty. But I took a life, I didn't value life, but I took a life in defense of my own life.
Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution, Albion.
This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
I took a life in defense of my own life, but I put myself in the situation, so I'm not innocent in it. I'm not claiming innocence. I'm just claiming I shouldn't have a first-degree murder. It was a shootout. I got shot. He got shot. But that's part of the life I was living. And it's part of the life the brother that passed on was living too. So it's not like I'm out here wild and blasting little kids and shit like that. But I don't equate one life over another. It's just the sensationalism of it. But that's the perception, which is sensory perception. Your five senses. I'm a black male, in jail, a statistic, family like many dudes in prison, love like many dudes in prison, hated like many dudes in prison. And a variety of it all, bad back from car accidents and car chases and fights and, still trying to do my little workout, getting a little old head gut when I used to have a six-pack, all the things. I'm aging well, but I'm aging and I see it and feel it. So that's that's the what of me. That's what I am. Who I am is Destiny. And is a dude named Destiny, and I'm not gay, and I'm not a stripper. But I took on the title Destiny because I feel that's what everybody in existence is. So it's my way of standing out while at the same time claiming humility, which is the contradiction of most people. But I took the name because I knew it stood out as a dude named Destiny, period. But also because of the definition of what destiny actually is we all destiny. Everybody in existence. You are meant to be. You are fated, or you wouldn't be. Point blank, period. So everything that happened, everything I'm saying, everything you listen to now is fated. Everything that we're going to come out of it is fated. Everything that don't come out of it is fated. And we are a culmination of all that. So that's who I am, basically. Obatala, the last name I took on, is from a Yoruban god, Yoruba in West Africa, which is where most of the slaves came from. So I've always had a sense of history. Even though I'm a ninth grade dropout, I've always had a sense of history since I was a young boy. Book reports on Malcolm and Martin and all that through elementary. I paid attention for a while before I got into the streets at 11, 12 years old. So I know a little bit about a little bit. So Obatala, I took that title because he was the god of creativity, king of peace and love, and I feel like I'm, a child of Obatala. So I took on that, that energy. David Gerard Loper Jr., that's my dad's name. It's not I got characteristics of him, his musical talent, his charm with the ladies or whatever, but beyond that, I'm my own persona. I don't know if my mom named me after him to keep him or it was an ego thing on his part, but I never believed in naming kids after their own parents. So I believe in individual. So I've been picking names out for myself since I was 7, 8 years old. I was King, I was Khalil. I was Mustafa before I met Mustafa. I was a bunch of things, but I lived that life, and I did it differently. I didn't do it like most dudes. I wasn't all in all the time. I was all in when I was in, and then I take breaks and get jobs. So I worked. I've been on the societal part of it. I've been in the mainstream part of it. I've been friends and loved white people. I've hated white people in the white system and the race system. I've known white dudes that would die for me on the streets, and I don't equate them. I don't judge the individual by the collective or the collective by the individual. So I don't think because you got good people on both sides, whatever, that there is no racism, and even the good people don't participate in the racism. Even to the detriment of ourselves, we participate in the racism. Like as I'm going to the hole the other day, they like state your name and number for the camera, and I said no. They were shocked because anybody that goes to the hole, that's just part of the routine. You strip, they make sure you ain't bringing drugs into the hole, like you ain't want to get sent to the hole on purpose. They strip you out, bend over and all that shit. And I'm like, you cooperating in your own demise. You're cooperating in your own demise. I'm not cooperating. You lock me up, you put me in the hole with some shit I ain't do. I'm not saying shit to y'all. Don't get the fuck out of here. So they stood back because they ain't know whether I was getting aggressive, and I was just like, you ain't got to pull your spray out or whatever. Just take me to my cell, man. I'm not stating no name for no camera, nothing. And that's what we do. We participate in our own demise. You got, the black cop, black judges, black lawyers, and all that say they wanted to make a difference and be different, but they doing the same thing the blacks did. We've been doing. The gangbangers wanted to be gangsters like the mob boys and all that, and they end up doing the same thing the black people that we doing, killing them. So, we participate in this racist shit. It's a big worldwide thing. I'm just conscious of it. I'm doing time in prison. I got a character that's like, as far as who I am, I got a character that says I got integrity. I stand on my integrity, and I live by a certain set of principles, and I abide them. Will I compromise them? Yeah. If my daughter was kidnapped or something like that, I would call the police and say, yeah, somebody got my daughter. I can't get to her. I'm in jail. So, but am I going to put somebody in jail that I was doing crime with, become a rat in that sense? No, never. So, it's I don't go to extremes with shit. I try to find myself balanced on everything in life. But I'm learning as I go, and I'm a work in progress. I curse. I use every word of vocabulary. You might call me articulate. You might call me vulgar. And another time, I use the word nigga. I use the word bitch. I use any word I feel is appropriate for whatever situation. Would you curse in front of your mom? Would you say this? No, I wouldn't, because my mom deserves that reverence. I wouldn't say it in front of any old head, any person of a certain age, because they deserve that reverence, because they've been living. Even a white, racist, old white man, I wouldn't be like, you fucking cracker and all that. I'd be like, this old man. I'll say it behind his back, but to his face, I'm gonna endear a certain type of level of respect, because you live this life. Whatever your character you is playing on this planet, you live this. I'm gonna give you that level of respect and honor. I had sex, but I wouldn't have sex in front of my mom. So don't ask me if I use the word nigga and all that. If you so black and conscious, I say what the fuck I want to say. I say what I feel, and I'm authentically me all the time. I'm not going to pause myself. I'm not going to put brakes on myself, but I'm also aware of how other people may feel, and I'm also empathetic towards other people's emotions and what they may be going through. So I take those things into consideration, and I think fast. So sometimes you're going to catch me on this podcast being vulgar, and sometimes you're going to catch me on this podcast being humble, and sometimes you're going to catch me on this podcast sounding intellectual, and other times I'm going to be stuttering over my words and stammering because you're going to catch me off guard. I'm human. But that's basically who I am, Destiny Obitala, a.k.a. David Gerard Loper Jr., who I ain't. but I dig it. I don't get mad with my mom. I'm not extreme in nothing. I don't say, Mom, don't call me Destiny. Don't call me David. I'm Destiny. I don't do none of that. You call me what you feel. I don't get offended or none of that shit. Call me an asshole if you want to, because I can be that too. I call women bitches, queens, goddesses, asshole. I never use the word cunt. I don't objectify them like that, but a bitch is a powerful thing to me. So, and it's also a pain in the ass thing to me. It's the equivalent of a male asshole, dickhead. So I'm not a holier than thou boy, and I don't subscribe to those like perceptions of people. And if you got a problem with it, you probably ain't going to listen to this joint. But this joint is going to be all in. We ain't talking all serious shit all the time. I don't intend to, because I'm not an all serious person all the time. I intend to get into some relationship shit, some coochie shit. I want to define this coochie thing, because I'm a coochie connoisseur and an ass aficionado. Like I want to talk about the female anatomy, Why we objectify him, why we don't objectify him, what makes us revere him, why we fear and hate him, why we love him so much. Like, I'm on all that. The phone getting ready to hang up, dog. I'm gonna call you tomorrow. I don't know what time you come out tomorrow, but I'm gonna try to hit you up tomorrow if we ain't out in the evening, in the morning. All right?
All right, Destiny. Thank you very much, man. Blessings. Peace.
No doubt. Peace,
The caller has hung up.